Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show before the free show on only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah, it is definitely only Tuesday.
It feels like it's not Tuesday. That, my friend, is a fact.
Wow. You are on your game today. Expect a slickly produced show, everybody, because Ashley Pickles at the helm. Okay. I've got 3 stories for you. Okay?
Wow, that's a lie.
No, you don't have to listen to all of them.
Okay.
But I need you to pick. Do you want a story from China, a story from Chicago, or a story from Florida?
Florida. Dateline! I know it's coming.
Do you?
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. No, I'm just saying I know that you're fixing to yell Dateline. And action.
Dateline.
Ah, boo!
Dateline!
There it is.
St. Petersburg. This from the Tampa Bay Times.
Okay.
The words painted on the garbage can radiated with indignation at the end of the driveway. Good lead, Christopher Spada. The words painted on the garbage can radiated with indignation at the end of the driveway. No. No poop. It was a plea to pet owners in Bayou Highlands, sure, but also the cry of homeowners across the nation engaged in a searing debate. May one throw dog poop into someone else's trash?
Oh, man.
The great debate has in recent weeks been argued from Pinellas Point to Dunedin, whatever, from Ballast Point to Port Tampa City. The balance of opinions appears shockingly even.
No poop.
What's your take on
What's
this?
my take on that?
Can you throw your dog poop into into a neighbor's trash can.
Okay. I don't think that's very kind, but I would rather the dog poop end up in my trash can than be left out there and not picked
Well,
up.
that goes without saying.
Okay.
I
still don't think that you should. Like, I think if you have a dog, you are signing up to pick up its poop
Yes.
and take it back and dispose of it properly. You know what you're getting yourself into.
No, for sure. We're 100% in lockstep.
Okay.
If I had a dog, I couldn't bring it over to your house and have it crap on your lawn and then just leave it there.
Right.
I think that is a very bare minimum amount of decorum
now,
that we can.
That brings up a separate point, though. Like, if we are, say we were friends.
It's a stretch.
That's asking a lot. But
hold on, let me try to imagine it.
It's really hard.
Wow,
God.
what would that even look like?
So if we were friends and you had a dog and you were coming over to hang out,
Yes.
then yes, I invited you over. You can throw your dog poop away in my trash can because you're nowhere near your home. So that's okay.
Yes.
But
I think what they're referring to
But yeah, just walking
is a
down the street.
drive-by poop dump.
That's not okay.
A drive-by dump.
Yeah,
so to speak.
if I throw it in a stranger's trash can, I don't think that's okay. Ultimately, the main goal here is for people to pick up their dog poop, which seems a lot more far-fetched than it should be. But, like, there's a lot of crappy people out there that don't pick up their dog poop.
You're proud of yourself. You're proud of yourself.
And you said I wasn't going to be on one today. I'm in. I'm locked in. We're here. We're present. We're ready. We're partying.
Yeah, I don't know. See, another reason why I don't have a dog now. Look, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a relatively human equivalent to this, which is
babies.
Baby. I have baby.
Yeah, and you signed up for that. You knew
right,
what you
right,
were getting
for
yourself
sure,
into.
For sure. Baby
yeah.
has at times crapped his pants.
Yeah.
Crapped his britches. Okay? Got change his diaper.
Yeah.
Okay?
At that point,
can I throw a dirty diaper into somebody else's lawn?
I personally, and this is me, and you can tell me if this is what you do or not. I personally, not having kids yet, but just assuming what I would do, I would probably ask them where their outside trash was, so I could go throw the baby diaper in their outside trash. I'm not leaving it in the inside trash.
I'm not an animal.
But I also don't want to leave it in a diaper bag because I feel like that's either going to stink up whatever room that you have the diaper bag in, which is way more rude than, like, people know when you're having babies over, just throw it in the outside trash. Like, I don't have an issue with that, but I would rather you ask me for my outside trash than leave it sitting in a spare bedroom in my house and I walk in there and go, why does this room smell like baby poop?
Is
that how it works?
I think I am inured to the smell of baby
yeah,
food.
and see, I'm not
constantly surrounded by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't smelt that in a long time.
But, like, for example, like, I don't know, I hate to be like this, but, like, if we're out at dinner and Max craps his pants,
yeah,
then I'm throwing that.
Yeah, it's a restaurant.
Away.
Like, that's okay. I guess it's different in a public place.
Okay, but if I come over to your house,
I mean, public restrooms never smell that. I mean, it depends on where you're at, but I wouldn't say that I walk into most public restrooms and say, this is the best smelling place I've ever been.
I guess that's true.
I can think of, like, a few. Like, a really nice steakhouse typically has, like, good smelling bathrooms.
They do.
But they also have, like, an attendant in there that spritzes it all the time.
They do make the bags with you were supposed to put the diapers in that kind of seal up the
stench?
Yeah, we've started doing that.
Oh, that's smart. That's kind of cool.
We save a lot of our, like, grocery bags.
Yeah.
And just, like, we have, like,
It'll
a
kind
stash of them in the diaper bag.
Yeah, muff the smell of it a little bit, if you will.
Yeah,
Null it down.
And then also, like, you don't necessarily have to handle it. You don't have to, like, walk out of there and be like, oh, my God, I got a live one. You know what I mean?
My mom used to do that. I remember that because my brother and I are 6 years apart, so I got to kind of experience that because I was old enough to remember it. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, my mom was a big believer in H-E-B sacks being great for that.
Yeah, they are.
It's a great reason to repurpose.
I mean, what we do, and this is, I don't know if maybe this is a public service announcement. I don't want to start a revolution here.
I've talked a lot about poop.
But if there's a daycare near your house,
Yeah.
and you like, if you go to grocery store and you have a bunch of plastic grocery bags,
Drop 'em
they can
off.
always use those.
Oh, that's smart.
We always take. Hank likes to bring what we call the bags for the babies every Monday because we get groceries
Aw.
on the weekend. And like he comes in, he tosses
That's
it out
really
there, 'cause
smart.
just because, like, you know, if you are whether it's a diaper or whether it's like they need new clothes because they crapped all over themselves, because they do that.
Yeah.
Then those are helpful.
I
So-
always keep a lot of bags like that at my house just for random things. Like a lot of mine get used for people coming over and swimming, and they need to take home like wet swimsuit.
Yeah, I forgot you have a pool.
Yeah, but
You're blessed. You know that?
yep, this
You
is
really
this
are.
is true. But I do get to the point where I'm like, I have too many bags. I need to throw them away. So that's good to know. I need to find a daycare next to my house, solely for bag purposes, not for children purposes.
What a crappy pre-show. Hit the theme, Expo. Pickle! Hit the arrow sign. Yes, yo! From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show online. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, texasfootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live on texasfootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of the places, or you listen to us in the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today. She makes us sound good whenever she can. She's the Duchess of the Dorks. She's Ashley Pickle.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
This is not a Hawaiian shirt, by the way. Thank you for thinking
It is
that, but it's
Hawaiian
not-
adjacent.
Not really.
It's very bright.
It is bright, but it's spring.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
The answer to that is never yes in Texas, but
It's gonna
it is calendar year wise. It is spring. We had the solstice
as Mike Craven
or the equinox.
As Mike Craven let us know in Slack today, it's going to be 100 like on Sunday. So, no,
I love
not
it.
in May.
Yeah.
Not in May.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
June can be 100.
No.
Can't be 100 in May.
I'm okay with it.
Today is Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. It's 200 and had this somewhere. 5 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Brooks Coep. I'm kidding. I know how to say it.
Kepka.
It's Brooks Kepka. Happy birthday to Brooks Kepka.
We're Team Brooks on this podcast, by the way, not Team Bryson. I said what I said.
Do I have to choose one of them?
Yes.
What if I choose to not watch golf?
Then you're just wrong. Like, holistically wrong.
Episode 1379. On today's show, friends, it's Math Tuesday.
Math
We're
Tuesday.
going to do a little bit more breaking down about where the draft picks in this weekend's NFL draft came from and why Texas continues its dominance, although there's one state that I'm worried about. We'll talk about that. And then back half the show, our buddy, Stephen Mackey of Two Words Character Development, has written a book, a whole book, pages and everything, being released this weekend.
Are you going to write a book one day?
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's called The Locker Room. We're going to talk to Stephen Mackey, our buddy, about being an author coming up here at the back half of the program. You do not want to miss that. Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was Rob Hadaway, Aaron Arbuckle, Robert Legault, and Jacob McNeil. Welcome in, fellas. Oh, Jacob McNeil also said Team Brooks in all caps, so we got to, let's go. Let's go.
Who's the other one?
Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he local, though?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is tough because you know how I feel about Texans. And Brooks Koepka is from Florida, and you know how I feel about Floridians. So
Too many of them.
might be.
No, I'm telling you, you're
Gotta
wrong, and
hey,
you don't want
I'm
to.
just saying. I'm just saying. Gotta hear both sides.
Okay, I will gladly present both sides.
Okay.
With no bias at all.
Gotta hear both sides. Okay. Let's celebrate Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday here on Texas Football Today, where we go through and we do math things. Specifically, the big doings over the weekend was the NFL draft. The NFL draft came, the NFL draft went. When we were in Las Vegas, we saw the NFL draft set. I never saw them do anything on the big fountain stage. Did I miss it?
No, I'm telling you, I think we were on the wrong. Did you watch on ESPN?
Mm-hmm.
I did too. I really think that might have been NFL Network on that stage because ESPN never did anything out there.
In the Bellage.
In the Bellage.
Okay.
Anyway, the setup was cool.
The setup was cool. Basically built like a whole airplane hangar.
Yeah.
But we watched as 32 Texas high school football products were drafted, including, I believe, was it 4 in the first round?
Mm-hmm.
It was 4 in the first round. And that is, as you know, the most of any state. Good job, Texas. We did it. But let's take a more holistic approach to it. And our friends at Max Preps have put together a graphic where they're breaking down, before you put it up, where they're breaking down how many players came from each state, how many players were drafted from each state. First of all, Pickle, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 states that did not produce a signee.
Boo.
How many do you think you can name?
Well, I have the graphic pulled up, so that's not fair.
That's not fair. Okay.
I would have said, I think I could have gotten...
There's basically only 2 that are a little bit surprising to me.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and throw it up there.
Okay.
So 11 states didn't put out one. Alaska, Hawaii, not surprising. Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota. South Dakota, every once in a while, will have one. And then up there in the Northeast, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine. Vermont, I was doing a piece.
Vermont and New Mexico are the 2 that blew my mind.
No. See, for me, it's West Virginia and New Mexico.
Okay.
I can't believe West by God, Virginia didn't put one out there.
But
I'll tell you something, because you mentioned Vermont, and this is getting way, way, way too into the weeds. But Vermont, I believe it is. Is that the one that I'm referring to? Vermont, Vermont has not produced an FBS signee since 2005.
Really?
They have not had a
Holy
single
cow.
player sign an FBS scholarship since 2005 when Patrick Pinchon signed with Troy.
What
I
do
went
they
and looked
do
that
up? What do they do up there?
I went through the database to figure out. Not play football, apparently.
Yeah, is basketball, I guess? A lot of golfers out of Vermont, probably?
Yeah. But
Badminton?
No. So you see those. Only one from Utah, which is also a little surprising. But I would say that, you take a look overall here. There's not a ton necessarily surprising about all this. Now, you see Texas. Texas has 32 NFL draft picks in 2022. To me, there are the big 4 states. The big 4 states, you could maybe lump Ohio into it, but the big 4 states are Texas, Georgia, Florida, and California. I think those Florida and Georgia numbers are pretty shocking.
Well, think about per capita.
That's exactly right. I think those numbers are pretty shocking. I think Texas is about average. As Mike Craven said in our meeting yesterday, it's about around. Like 1 out of every 7 is from Texas, which makes a lot of sense, right? That seems about right, 32. Keep an eye on Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay? Georgia is they are continuing to become the place for the most per capita signees. Georgia's numbers are pretty ridiculous, and in fact, if you take a look at the 2022, if you compare it to the 2022 signing class, Georgia also has the highest per capita signees, and by a pretty considerable margin. That's a metric where Texas ranks like 8th in it.
Right.
And when you consider the fact that Texas has a population of about 30 million, it's around 30 million, and Georgia has a population of around 11.
That's crazy.
Georgia's their high school football's cooking right now,
Mhm.
and I think we all need to sit up and pay attention to it. So that's particularly interesting. Georgia, I thought, was a little bit surprising to me, just the number of players that they had drafted. If you're interested, there were, I believe, so it's the second time in 3 years Texas had the most. Georgia was second, California third, Florida fourth, then Ohio, Alabama, Louisiana, Maryland, and North Carolina. There was only one high school to have 3 draft picks. It was a high school in Georgia, Cedar Grove, Georgia, in Ellenwood. Jelani Woods went in the 3rd round. D'Angelo Malone went in the 3rd round. And then Justin Schaefer went in the 6th round. There were also, do you know that there were, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There were 13 high schools that had 2 NFL draft picks, including one in Texas. Pickle! Which Texas high school had 2 players drafted?
Was it Atascocita?
It was not, but you're in the right part of the state.
Okay, so it's got it down there in the Houston area. I don't know.
The answer is Klein Collins.
Oh, yep,
Isaiah
that's right.
Spiller and
Mhm.
Cameron Good
Yep.
were both taken from Klein Collins.
Yeah, because Kenyon Green went from
Atascocita,
Atascocita.
but he was it. Well, yeah. Oh, no, only the first Texan drafted.
It-
Or no, second Texan drafted. If you're interested, if you look over it, overwhelmingly, it's a lot of 6A and 5A, which shouldn't necessarily be
Big
be
surprise.
surprising.
Yeah.
But if you're interested in the smallest school that had a kid drafted,
Okay,
are you?
sure.
Is that something that you're interested in?
I am.
It would be 3A Hempstead. Hempstead with Delarin Turner Yell out of Oklahoma State is a 3A program. I believe that's the only 3. Let me make sure I'm not putting my foot in my mouth. That appears to be the only 3A and below program. Yeah, that's true. To have a player drafted. So yeah, that is.
I also feel like we didn't
Launch.
give enough credit to Maryland. Like 10 players
It's a
out
lot.
of Maryland is a lot. Like, I mean, if you compare that to Oklahoma and Arkansas that only had 4, like even Missouri only had 7. Like that.
Maryland's got 6 million.
That's insane.
Maryland's only got 6 million people. You know, that's
Yeah,
pretty
10
good.
people.
Yeah, 10.
That's
10
big.
draftees out of that is pretty good. So yeah, there were. Let's see. That is, and yeah. So if you take a look, if you go to Max Preps, our friends at Max Preps have the whole list of where you can look up and down who was drafted from where. There were 12 states that didn't have a player drafted. That counts the District of Columbia, but Alaska, Delaware, District of Columbia, Hawaii, Idaho, Maine, New Hampshire, New Mexico, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming all had 0 selections. So you can find that on Max Preps. Find out which states had produced the most draft picks in 2022. The answer is Texas, but we got to watch our back because Georgia's coming.
They're getting sneaky.
Got to be careful there. We are Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF. You can like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. You can follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Get the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to you before it hits newsstands. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Makes a great gift for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is Sunday. Don't screw it up. Speaking of not screwing it up, did you know that's not a great transition, but let's talk about our friends at Athletes to Athletes. Did you know that 35% of college athletes quit their sport or transfer schools by the end of their sophomore year? That's because most high school athletes only consider athletics when picking a college. They skip over the other important factors: college major, location, scholarships, long-term goals, etc. With so much to consider, how do you make sure you're choosing the right school? That's where Athletes to Athletes comes in. Athletes to Athletes is a college counseling program built specifically for student athletes and their families. They provide a holistic approach to help you find the college program that best fits all of your needs, both on and off the field. Go to athletetoathletes.com/DC today to schedule your free info session and see how they can help you find the best college program for you. That's athletetoathletes.com/DC. Pickle, let's go to the hotline, and let's bring in an old friend. I don't mean that he's old. I mean that we've known him for a while, although both may be true. We're joined on the phone line now from Two Words.tv. It is our friend and the new author of the Locker Room book. It is Stephen Mackey. Hey, Stephen.
What's up, Tep? How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
Well, it's weird because we see each other every year at coaching school, and we get our annual selfie with me, you, and Step. But then, like, for the rest of the year, you're just in my ear hole every day at 2X.
I'm sorry.
No. But he said an important thing, though. He said at 2X, so he's only spending like 15 minutes with us, which is efficiency.
So, you got to balance. You got to balance it all in. Pick your poison in that.
So you are, for those who don't know, Two Words is a character development program, and you're a player development coach. You go around the state, you go around the nation, speaking to athletic programs and things like that. Let me just tee you up for a broad explanation of what you do. When you're walking into these programs and you're brought in to help talk with young athletes across the state of Texas, what is the overall message you're trying to get across to them?
Yeah, so when coaches ask me to come in, or when they begin to use our curriculum, which is a 36-week video-based character and leadership curriculum, the thing that I do is I help coaches and kids connect the dots between sports and life. And so we're equipping the coach to coach beyond the game, and we're helping athletes develop an ethos through the game of sports to help them see that one day sports is going to end. But before it does, they can learn the long shelf life skill sets, the integrity, attitude, effort, commitment, discipline, those things that will make them a better teammate and a better athlete. But those are the very same things that will help them be successful in the game of life. And so I help them develop that ethos. And we do that through curriculum, through leadership summits, and we do that obviously through speaking. And it's just been an incredible ride over the last 5 years. Where I volunteered for 7 years before that, in January 12th, 2017, founded Two Words, and since that time have become the official character development curriculum of the Texas High School Coaches Association, and close to 50% of the athletic departments in the state of Texas use our curriculum.
Did you say 50%? That was gonna be my next question, because I see you I follow you on social media, and it feels like you have not stood still in 7 years, and so you said nearly 50% of the programs in the state of Texas have adopted your curriculum.
That's right. Yeah,
wow.
over the last 5 years, it's just been super humbling, and so thankful for the trust of the association and of coaches across the state. It's really humbling, and maybe the best way that I can communicate the magnitude of this is that when Coach Joe Martin and all the great folks at the association, and coaches across the state, when they introduce me on stage or to their athletes, they say Coach Stephen Mackey, and that's something that I do not take lightly. That they would give me that title, and so it's been a really great gift. And since 2017, we did the math. I was in Warren, Texas yesterday, and home of the Warriors, way out in the Piney Woods, and that was my 1600th speech since 2017 to athletes across the state of Texas.
That's wild. Talking with Stephen Mackey of Two Words .tv here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. I got to be honest, you mentioned Warren, and I was like, man, you and Matt Stepp are basically like you're going for different reasons, but you're both you're just like, where are you going this week? And he's like, I'm gonna go out to a game in some town you've never heard of. It kind of seems like you're that same way. Like I imagine you're just showing up in these small towns, and be like, all right, here I am today. Let's
go. And you know what, man? 6A to 6-man, the kids, they deserve the very best, and they deserve the coverage, and that's what you guys do so well. Is y'all love on everybody, and these kids deserve it, and these coaches deserve it, because they're sacrificing, they're investing in. And so, hey, man, if there's a locker room that will have me, I'm gonna tell you what, my big rig is gonna drive there at 12.2 miles per gallon. But dadgummit, I'm bringing the big rig wherever it'll go, man. We'll go left lane, hammer down.
He's not kidding. It's a big truck. All right, so I want to ask you about this book, The Locker Room, How Great Teams Heal Hurt, Overcome Adversity, and Build Unity. You wrote it alongside Damon West, who was the co-author of The Coffee Bean. Why this book? Why now? What is it about this whole process that struck you as something that needed to be done?
Yeah, man. So I'll take you back. It was July 3rd, 2021. And I was doing some reading and studying for my doctorate. And I just, this thought hit me of, man, with all of the division and all of the hurt and all of the just against one anotherness that we see in every area of our culture and of our country. I just thought, man, if people could experience what it's like to be in a locker room where people were students from all different backgrounds, all kind of different hurts, hang-ups, histories, all kinds of different, when they all come together for one common goal. If people could experience the locker room, man, we wouldn't have a lot of the trouble and the division that we have across our country. And coaches say it all the time. Coach Joe Martin says it's the miracle of the locker room. Can't tell you the number of coaches that have said, man, if America had a locker room, man, we'd be a lot better off. And so I took a flyer and texted, sent a Twitter message to Damon West. We were Twitter acquaintances at best, and said, man, let's write this book. And I laid my pitch out, and that was July 3rd. July 4th, I drove from Blanco, Texas, where I live, to Beaumont, Texas. We met for 4 hours in a Starbucks, and the rest is kind of history. 10 months later, it's going to be on bookshelves, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, all across. And really at the heart of this story, to answer the question, is it's a story about a high school football team that at the biggest moment of the year faces their biggest adversity. That their quarterback at a after game party made some offensive and racial comments. They go viral, and it's a story about how the coaches and how the team rally together, overcome that adversity, heal that hurt, and build unity. But at the heart of the story, it's a story about what happens when we take our eyes off our core values and how adversity, conflict, and hurt will always follow. And so it's not a true story in the sense that everything happened exactly the way that we wrote it, but it is a composite true story in that every coach in every situation is based on a real experience from a locker room in Texas. And so in that sense, it feels very real. Because it's based on all real things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it feels, you mentioned that, the gist of it, and it's a true idea, and it's a true thing, like representation of what coaches are having to deal with and what players are having to deal with within locker rooms and things like that. So I think beyond, and correct me if you think this is wrong, but beyond it being literally true. Daddy's on the phone real quick. Hold on a second. But beyond it being literally true, that's not the important thing. What it is it's representative of what goes on in locker rooms and how locker rooms tend to handle crisis and tend to handle adversity and things like that.
Absolutely. And that's it exactly. And the important thing to note here is that this isn't a political deal. We took great care to make sure that we poked everybody in the chest. Now, we didn't poke anybody in the eye, but we did poke them in the chest, and we made sure every voice was heard, because as cliche as it is, like, united is not uniform. Mm-hmm. And so the goal is not that we would all be the exact same, look the same, think the same, act the same, because that's not what happens in a locker room. But in a locker room, like, our diversity of thought and of experience is a strength. That what makes you, and me is what makes us. Mm-hmm. And so it's less about saying, hey, here's this right way. And it's more about saying, hey, here's what happens when, as a team, we remember our core values, the guiding principles, the commitments that we made. And we, with humility and grace, we chase after that. But we don't let our pride and our ego keep us from keeping our word, but by humility and grace, that we would keep our word, and that we would listen to one another, and that we would value the experience of the other, but that we would recognize that, hey, nobody's perfect, and that making a mistake doesn't make you a mistake. But we can't lower the standard just because you're the starting quarterback. That the standard is the standard, and so it's a book of reconciliation, and like I said, it's one of those that, if you go into it as an honest reader, and it's a short story, easy to read, even UTEP could read it in less than an hour. And
tough but fair.
And as you go into it, and what you'll see is that, hey, a locker room isn't just this smelly place where athletes are, that it can be in a large family or a small business. It can be between two friends, that it's any place that we make a commitment to one another to chase a common goal and by our core values to live that out.
It's The Locker Room, How Great Teams Heal Hurt, Overcome Adversity, and Build Unity, with co-author Stephen Mackey. You can find the book at thelockerroombook.com. Stephen Mackey at 2words.tv. He is a speaker. He is a character coach. He is a dad, as you can hear. Stephen, appreciate your time, my brother. It's great to hear from you, as always. Congratulations on the book, and I'm sure we will be talking to you very soon.
Thanks, man. Y'all keep up the great work. We'll see you at coaching school.
See you soon. There he goes. Stephen Mackey, author of The Locker Room. It's thelockerroombook.com. Good buddy of ours. Excited for him in this next step that he's got in his career. And yeah, the official character, what do you say? It's the official character development. I don't know. He's like the official speaker of the THSCA. Is the way I think of it. It is the
designated keynote speaker.
The official character development curriculum. That's a fancy word of saying when the THSCA needs somebody to go talk to teams, they say call Stephen Mackey.
Yep.
That's it. So always great to talk with him. Good buddy of ours, and a valued listener.
Yeah.
To Texas Football Today. And
Poor guy.
And yeah,
he speaks good stuff for a living and then chooses to listen to us.
Yeah,
that's a choice.
I'm sure. Yeah, he's like, well, you want to learn something every day.
Let's numb my mind a little bit.
Do that. Let's take a break from learning things for 15 minutes. Oh, the 2X thing is a power move.
It is. That's
he's
key.
Blistering through Texas Football Today. Anyway, we appreciate Stephen Mackey taking some time. It's 2words.tv, and the book is thelockerroombook.com. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
I got something in my eye. That's my first thought.
Quite a final thought.
But it hurts.
Oh!
Yeah.
Sorry, you do your thing first.
Hi, no.
I'm so excited.
Okay. I was just going to say, don't forget that we're broadcasting the Hall of Fame banquet on this Saturday, presented by our good friends at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Tep, Ishmael, and Mallory will be bringing you live coverage before Craig Way kicks it off with the banquet itself. So tune into that, texanlive.com. It is for free. Now we go to Mr. Excited with
So it's the put that back up. 2022 Texas High School Football Hall of Fame induction ceremony presented by our friends at Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Where you can watch, again, 45-minute pregame show with myself, Ishmael Johnson, and Mallory Hartley, bringing you leading you up to tossing over to Craig Way, where he is the master of ceremonies. You can watch Dick Stafford, Ray Rhodes, Rodney Allison, who was our guest yesterday, Shea Walker, Tony Brackens, Colt McCoy, John Parchman, Joey McGuire, Robert Wilcox, and Todd Dodge all be honored, plus Marlin High School with the Gordon Wood Award. There, it's a 2022 Texas High School Football Hall of Fame presented by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Broadcast live for free, TexanLive.com. Now, my exciting news. You know this.
Do I?
You know what we got today?
No.
We got questionnaire number 1,252.
We did it!
Folks! That's all of them!
We did it!
Yay!
Woo!
It's actually, I don't know if you guys know this, it's actually the first time in DCTF history that we've ever gotten every UIL Texas High School football questionnaire.
Yeah, because we've announced that we've gotten all the 11-man ones, but we haven't gotten both the 11-man and 6-man.
Normally we only get one or two. There'll be a handful of 6-man schools that we just can't track down. But a huge shout out to Mike over there at sixmanfootball.com for helping track it down, and to our buddy Coach Terry Crawford of the Texas Six-Man Coaches Association, and all those boys over there, the Texas Six-Man Coach Association, for helping get rally the troops. But we got, and actually all the 6-man ones were in before the 11-man ones.
They were.
The last 3 or 4 were 11-man ones, but we got all of them.
Yeah.
So now,
thank you, coaches.
Thank you, coaches. You did your job. I won't bother you again for this particular thing
until next year.
March 1, 2023. So you're done. I won't send you those annoying emails anymore. Yes, that was very exciting.
That is awesome, yeah.
We've been chasing down one. They had just made a coaching change. He had a very good excuse.
Yes.
He called me today, and he's like, I've done the best I can. I'm like, Coach, I totally understand. Don't worry about it.
So shout out all the coaches, because that's awesome.
We really appreciate it. Anyway, There you go. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Stephen Mackey of twowords.tv and thelockerroombook.com for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please give me your Player of the Year trophy. Tomorrow, Greg Powers reviews the Barbecue State Championships.
Woohoo!
On Texas Football Today.